The Chartered Institute of Bankers Ghana is 60 years, and as part of its anniversary celebration, it will hold the National Banking and Ethics Conference on the 14th of November. The event will witness the unveiling of the Ghanaian Banking Industry Ethics Certification and the newly designed curriculum of the Institute's main flagship program. The Institute will also hold its 13th induction ceremony. The theme for this year's conference is Redefining Professionalism in Banking Through Ethics. In studio with me is Robert Jetto, who is Chief Executive Officer of the Chartered Institute of Bankers Ghana. So happy to have you in the studio once again. It's been twice this year, right? All right. So I wanted us to talk about the theme for your 60th anniversary celebration. It's redefining professionalism in the banking through ethics. And so if we're redefining professionalism, that means there's something that we need to work on in terms of professionalism when it comes to the banking industry. May not necessarily be right, but I mean, what does the theme mean for the Chartered Institute of Bankers?
Thank you very much, Daryl. I think this is an important conference, and the theme, as you rightly said, is redefining professionalism in banking through ethics. And see, banking is about trust. And if you think about ethics is about sustainability, doing the right thing when no one is watching. And as an institute, our mandate is to promote banking education and to regulate the practice of banking in Ghana. What does that actually mean? That means developing trusted professionals for the banking industry. And if you think about our industry, quite a number of things have happened recently. If you think about DDEP or think about the banking sector cleanup,
that's true.
All of which have kind of impacted confidence.
People are wondering if they can trust their banks or the banking professionals,
absolutely.
whether they can even trust them to say the truth about it.
Well, if you make reference to the Bank of Ghana 2022 fraud report, it actually points to the fact that there are still some people in banking who are involved in some fraud and things like that, which exactly. I think for us makes the case very, very clear for us to deliver on our mandate, which is certification and making sure that everybody working in banking has the appropriate qualification and certification. Like I said, it's about trust, and we need to restore that trust. And that's why we are putting ethics high on the agenda of banks and bankers and society as a whole.
Okay. And so talk to us about the Institute's mission to fully develop the academic and professional potential of practitioners in the financial services sector. How has that evolved over the past 60 years?
Sure. Our journey over the last 60 years has been quite an exciting one, and of course an evolving one as well. And you're right, our mission is very clear, and we've been very focused on developing ethical bankers, chartered bankers for the industry. We have launched a number of things recently. I'm sure if you're following, you see that we've launched the Chartered Banker for Executive Leadership, which is really targeting senior managers and people in key management positions and at the board level to become even more professionals. Then, of course, we have the certification in ethics, which we have co-developed with the Central Bank of Ghana, which will be launching at the conference. But we've also redesigned our curriculum, the Chartered Banker qualification, to make it even more relevant, more consistent with our times, but also futuristic. So we are putting a huge focus on if you think about it, on ethics, on customer centricity, on digital. And these are key areas of focus for us, even in the digital age. So from our aspiration and mission perspective, we are delivering on the mandate, but there's, of course, a lot more to be done.
Yeah, I mean, one of the highlights of your 60th anniversary celebration, and you mentioned it, is the unveiling of the banking industry ethics certification. What role does that play in redefining professionalism in the banking sector? Sure.
So at the conference, the focus really is to bring the conversation around ethics and banking to the fore. And we are very excited to have some really important speakers coming through. But we will be launching the ethics certification program, like I said, which we developed in conjunction with BOG, or Bank of Ghana for that matter. And we think that people in the industry or in any other industry should be competent and should have the qualification and the certification, but most importantly, should subscribe to a code of conduct and ethics that we can hold them to. And that's really very important. And for us going forward, that's a huge area of focus and ensuring that everybody working in the industry has the appropriate qualification and certification, and most importantly, are making the ethical judgments and also resolving the ethical dilemmas that they face. And we are supporting with the frameworks that will help them make the right decisions and ensure that even when no one is watching, they're doing the right thing.
You mentioned, but I want to ask you again about the newly designed curriculum and how that is also going to promote good ethics in the banking sector.
Yes, so if you look at the new curriculum, which is a chartered banker qualification, it really puts focus at every level, from level 1 to the final level, on ethics and sustainability. And if you look at the competency framework, it's really saying everybody in banking must have at least the fundamentals in ethics. And that's something that we will regulate. That's something that we'll monitor and ensure that everyone working in the banking industry has that. But most importantly, it's really ensuring that we are not just having the qualification, but also people have the continuing professional development to ensure that they are doing the right thing all the time.
Yeah, 60 years is a long way. If you're a human, you'll be retiring. What are your future plans?
No, excellent question. I think 60 years has been a journey for us, but the next 50 years and 60 years may be even more defining for us. And so, as we indicated, we want to be the institute of excellence for developing trusted professionals. And every single individual in the banking industry must have a certain qualification, and that is offered by the Chartered Institute of Bankers, Ghana, so that we can properly ensure the sustainability of our industry, but also ensure that we are developing the right human capital for not just the banking industry or the financial services sector, but also our country as a whole.
All right, this is not part of the script, but I'm going to ask you anyway. The 2024 budget is coming up, and I'm sure the banking industry has got some concerns as well. So what will you be looking forward to as the finance minister gets ready to present the 2024 budget?
Well, that's an important question, and I think if you think about the banking sector, we are the catalyst for economic development, and any budget or economic policy of government is so important, and it's one that we certainly would address our minds to very carefully. So in terms of the budget, we certainly expect that the macroeconomic indicators will trend in the right way, because that then helps banks to strategize, but also plan and have some key performance indicators which our stakeholders are very, very interested in. Of course, beyond that is just ensuring that there's certainty, and I know that as an industry, there has been some uncertainties in the recent past. So that certainty and clarity will be very, very important for the financial services sector going forward.
Yeah, and I know, it's been a challenging year for the banking industry. And again, I just want to find out, when it comes to recovery, whether you think that is more on the positive side right now?
Correct. So I think, if you look at the exit numbers for 2022, banks took huge impairments, right? But if you then look at the first quarter into the second quarter performance, things we are beginning to
I saw those third quarter numbers.
But even most importantly, you see that confidence is coming back. And the way to measure that is really looking at the deposit growth of various banks. And almost all the banks are trending in the right direction.
Yeah,
that's evidence.
I was going to point out that the third quarter numbers was a good showing for some of the banks. And so, yeah, that's good news. All right, Robert Jatto, Chief Executive, Chartered Institute of Bankers. I appreciate your time. And we'll be there to cover the 60th anniversary of the Chartered Institute of Bankers. And congratulations on your anniversary.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
14th November.
Correct.
All right.